Hi, this is Jay from Foss Engineered, and today we're going to make a small computer program. We'll be writing some C++ code into a Notepad text editor, and then running a C++ compiler command in the command line to create an executable. When we interact with this executable by double-clicking on it, we will see that it prints out Hello World to the screen. The compiler takes the human-readable C++ code and then converts it to a machine language of ones and zeros. As a developer, we don't need to write the ones and zeros. We can write C++ code and have the compiler convert it to machine code for us. We'll start off by installing a helper piece of software called MySys32. This allows us to take Linux C++ compiler commands and run them on our Windows machine. We'll start off by going to the MySys32 website and downloading the executable from this link. When we run the downloaded executable, it will start the installation process. You can leave all of these sections in it at their default values and it will install properly. As part of ending the installation, it will open the MySys32 window. We will need to run a couple commands to finish setting up the process to allow us to run our C++ compiler. I will copy the commands directly from the website and put them into the MySys32 window. I'm using the copy command from the website and right-clicking in the MySys32 window and hitting paste. Once the command has been pasted into the MySys32 window, I will hit the Enter key to run the command. We will wait for it to install the necessary software that it needs to install, and hitting Y for yes to accept the command when it asks us. We'll continue to scroll down the web page and look for the commands that it wants us to run. Typically there's a description of what the command will do and any related output. You'll notice that once you hit enter, when you input the command, there'll be a lot of text scrolling down the screen and a lot of things happening. You really don't need to understand all of the things happening, but if you'd like to, you can feel free to look through the commands to try to understand them more. Typically, in application development or computer programming, we rely on tools and code that other individuals have written for us. This allows us to maximize our time and do more with less. Since the C++ compiler that we just downloaded is not a native Windows feature, if we tried to run the command G++ for the compiler into our command window, it would not be able to find the command to run our compiler. What we'll need to do is add our compiler's binary assembly folder into our path in Windows. That way, when we enter our G++ compiler command, Windows will know where to find our compiler executable to create our application. The Windows path is an environmental variable stored in the Windows System Configuration Properties. The most direct way to get there is by opening our Run window and typing sysdm.cpl and hitting Enter. This will open up the System Properties window, and we will go to the Advanced tab. Then we will click on the button that says Environmental Variables. In the Environmental Variables window, you can see that there are several entries, path being one of them. We will select path in the list of entries, and then we will click the Edit button. Click the New button, and then paste in the path to your MySys32 binary directory. This is available in the video's description for you, so you can copy and paste it from there. You can now click OK on all of the open windows, which will close them, saving all of our entered paths so that now we have the commands available to us in the command window. We are now going to verify that our path entry was added correctly by running the G++ version command. Let's open our Run dialog, type in cmd, hit Enter, which will open up the command window. We will then type in G++ space -- version and hit Enter. The following output on the screen lets us know the version of G++ and lets us know that our path was set up correctly. With our path set up and our compiler installed, we are now ready to start the application development or coding process. I like to put all my coding projects in a similar place in the Documents folder. We will create a folder called Code Projects in the Documents folder. And then create a subfolder within that called Hello World. This will be the name of our coding project. We will then go to our Explorer window address bar and copy the full location of our folder so that we can paste it into our command window. With our command window open, we will type in cd for change directory, space, quote, the address that we copied, end quote, and hit Enter. This will navigate the command window to the location of our folder that we set up for our project, Hello World. We will type in the echo command, which lets us write contents to a file, followed by space, the word null, N-U-L, another space, the pipe symbol, which is represented as a greater than sign, and the file name, which is going to be main.c. You will then hit your Enter key, and a file will be created for you that will represent the code file that we'll use for our application. The dir command lists the folder contents. It's also short for directory, and you will see now that there is a file called main.c. We'll be editing our file with the Notepad program. You can launch this program with the file by typing in Notepad space main.c and hitting Enter. This will open up the Notepad program with our file opened. The computer code is available in the video's description. I've copy and pasted it here beforehand to allow for easier copy and paste, but you can do the same thing. We will paste it into our main.c notepad, hit File, Save to save the contents of the computer code. Heading back to our command window, we can now type in G++ space main.c space -o space main.exe and hit Enter. This will tell the G++ compiler to take our application code in main.c and to output an executable called main.exe. In our Hello World project folder, we will now see the main.exe executable. If you double-click on the executable, a new window will open and display Hello World. If you hit any key, the program window will close, and that's it, our first application.